mums, and welcome to the first video of my new series, Mama Friday. Each Friday a new video is going to be going live that is going to be on toddlers and parenting and just a variety of different sit down videos. I am going to leave all the different videos down in the description box below, and each week when they go live you'll be able to find a link to them. For those of you who are new to my channel, I have a 14-month-old son, Hunter, and I am 25 weeks pregnant with our second baby. So on a Monday you'll find pregnancy updates, and on a Thursday you will find other pregnancy related videos on my channel, and then again on Fridays you'll also find a weekly vlog on top of these videos. Today's video is going to be all about my tips with surviving pregnancy while you have a toddler, because it is definitely not as easy as having a pregnancy with no other children. Today was a classic example of one of those days that just does not go to plan. Hubby is sick, Bubby is sick, and nothing is just going to happen because they are too unwell. So days like today, I wish that I had all of these things on my list because it would make life so much easier. Having prepared meals for both my son and myself means that we both get to eat properly, and I don't have to survive off eating Anzac cookies for an entire day. We just spent a week away, and so I didn't have time to pre-prep meals this time, and today was just so much harder than it should have been. So usually I always like to make sure that I have some snacks on hand and some pre-prepared meals just to make my life easier. Routine is another thing that you're going to need to survive your pregnancy. When you are pregnant and you have a toddler, there is so much to do, you are so busy, and some days you are definitely not going to feel like getting out of bed, and having a routine means that your child is going to have their naps at nap time, and you are going to either be able to get things done or actually have a break, and you are definitely going to need this the further along you get. Decluttering. You need to make sure that you get on top of your house at the very beginning. Don't wait to nest at the very end. Declutter your house, organize it, and it will just make your life so much easier. Get into a habit of making sure that there's never any washing on the floor, because once you get further along it is harder to bend over and pick things up. So if you do this from the very beginning, then your house will never get on top of you. Support for appointments. You're going to need to make sure that you have at least one other person who can assist you with your toddler if they do not behave at appointments. Now, I have taken Hunter to a lot of my appointments, but one thing I have learnt is that I cannot take him to ultrasounds. And the reason being is because he absolutely loses it the second the ultrasound technician tries to touch my stomach, and it just makes it impossible. One of my scans, I ended up having to hold him while they were trying to do the scan, and it was just a nightmare. So you want to make sure that you have someone that you can call upon if you do have an appointment where they are going to need to do any testing on you, like blood work or ultrasounds or anything like that, just in case. Speaking of appointments and having support people, you're going to need a support person when it comes to your birth and any unexpected appointments. So pregnancy and birth doesn't always go to plan. Sometimes you're going to end up in hospital. I ended up in hospital only a week ago, really unwell, and I made sure that I had my mum to come and pick up my son. And you want to make sure that whoever the person is that you have as your backup is someone that sees your son regularly. Even though my mum lives interstate, she always makes sure she FaceTimes him and she knows his routine, just so that he is a little bit more comfortable and doesn't freak out the second that mum or dad is gone. But you definitely need to make sure that you have a backup person, because not everyone wants to have their toddler in the room while they're giving birth. Resting when you can. If you have the opportunity to have someone look after your child for a second and you get an hour to yourself, whether it's just even having a longer shower or having a quick sleep in or something like that, definitely take advantage of it while you can, because the more that you do, the worse that you're going to feel. You're going to be achy and also tired, and it just doesn't work for anyone, because if you're really tired then you're going to more than likely take it out on your toddler. Something else you're going to need is activities, and I mean activities that are going to be really easy, that you don't have to run anywhere, you don't have to chase your child. Take your child to a play group if you can. It'll wear them out, they'll have fun, and it just means that it's so much easier on you when you're not feeling up to doing much, and gives you a little bit of a break. So anything that you can take them to where they can run amok and burn energy and go to sleep afterwards is perfect. I love taking my son to things like rhythm and rhyme where they sing songs and everything, and it's really stimulating and he can see the other kids. But I don't have to do too much. I can kind of just sit there and watch and sing along, and it's really good for keeping him amused, but also just giving myself that 5 seconds to just sit down and have a breather. Something else you need to do is just throw all your expectations out the window. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. Your toddler is not going to cooperate every day. Sometimes routine's going to be out of whack and you're not going to get things done. So days like today where my son is sick, I just have to accept that the housework is not going to be completed. And if I sit here and stress about it, it's not going to change that. So you do need to just expect that there are going to be some days where nothing happens, and it's totally okay. And at the end of the day, both your babies will be happy as long as they just have mum and dad around, and they really don't care if the washing isn't finished yet. Something that saves my absolute life is getting my groceries delivered. I don't know about you, but it's already hard enough shopping with a toddler or a baby, but once you're pregnant and have a toddler or a baby, it is just 10 times harder because you can't lift everything. Your baby or toddler are not going to want to sit there for ages, and it just makes it so much easier. I don't forget anything because I can order it from the comfort of my own home. Don't have to leave the house, can wear my PJs, whatever I want, and it gets delivered, and it's just so much easier. So highly recommend getting onto your local supermarket and getting those groceries delivered instead of doing them yourself. The last thing that you're going to need is lists and a good diary. Baby brain is the absolute worst when you've already had a pregnancy, you're looking after a toddler, you're busy, you're tired, and you just forget absolutely everything. You're going to have a lot of medical appointments, you're going to have a lot of other things that need doing, and the best thing that I do is not only have a list of appointments that I have, but also I try to write out all the different weeks of pregnancy and try and write out along that when I need to do certain things by. So when I need to buy certain things for baby, when I have certain appointments that hubby needs to be available for, anything else that I need to organize, and that way I don't forget anything, but also means that nothing gets left till the very last second. That's it for my tips on surviving pregnancy with a toddler. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, this is going to be part of a weekly series every Friday, so the videos are all going to be listed down below, and as they come out you'll be able to find the links for them. So 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday. Make sure you check back and click subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.